Peace be to all. Assalamualaikum. Omar here. Health educator, physician associate, family man, and moderately fit middle-aged endurance athlete. So today I'm doing my run on Sligo Park Trail. It's beautiful. It's in Tacoma Park, Maryland. So if you ever happen to be in this neck of the woods, please come for a visit. It's got this beautiful bike trail, and it's early morning, so it's not crowded. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about more about education and teachers, because today is May 12th, and it's the last day of, right behind you, of Teacher Appreciation Week. And here in the US anyway. But I wanted to talk to you guys on this last day of Teacher Appreciation Week about just respecting the importance of respecting the teachers and other people who are in fields of education, whether they're early childhood development or college professors, because there is this kind of mass exodus of people moving out of the teaching profession. And one of the things that they're citing, their reasons for leaving it, is their feelings of lack of respect. It doesn't pay a lot. I was offered a full-time teaching position as a college professor many years ago, and what that position paid was less than what I was making as a clinician, a PA. So I was like, I can't take it. I gotta pay my mortgage and support my wife and kids. So, there's that. Teachers need increases in salaries and, on benefits and that kind of things, but they also need respect from the students. So it's very important that as a student, if you happen to be a student, that you respect your teachers. And what we see in videos now, whether it's YouTube or World Star Hip Hop, we see students beating their teachers up, cursing their teachers out, walking out the classroom, threatening the teachers. And it's disgusting behavior. And you can't do it with the social climate the way it is in this country. Teachers have less power than they ever had before. Like I'm in my mid-50s, so I'm the last generation of people where, probably when you can remember, maybe back in the 70s, maybe the early 80s, you were in elementary school and you were cursing or something or acting up. The teacher would have you hold out your hand, and you might get the ruler, pop, and hit you in the hand with the ruler, and then tell your parents, and your parents beat you. But not that teachers should go around, putting their hands on students, but that's what teachers could do back then. And it kind of kept students in line to a certain degree. It kept me in line because I was more terrified of my dad getting sent home with a note that I was being naughty. Omar, brother, how you doing? So I entered this new day and age where the students could, the students could say or do whatever they want to the teachers. But that's what happens when you have, certain social movements that are where you can't say anything to the kids. You can't discipline them, verbally, certainly not physically. And my dad went through this. My dad was a teacher for several years in the public school system. And he would tell me, when the students would act up, he'd give them a note to the principal's office that the principal would admonish my dad, like, how come you can't control this child? Then my dad would flunk students. He'd give them F's if they weren't doing any work. And then the parents would come in. How come you flunked my child? How come my child got an F? Your kid's not doing the homework. They're not doing the classwork. They're not doing the homework. They're not disruptive. They're disruptive during the classroom. So, you know, my dad he left eventually. Oh, he was actually had to leave after a student put his hands on my dad. My dad defended himself. He's an ex-wrestler from Southern Illinois University. So he didn't play it. He's just like, I'm not having any kid accost me, and I'm not going to defend myself. So he was invited to seek employment elsewhere. But you know, this is what's happened now. You know, the teachers get in trouble, and we're suffering for it. You know, America, with all of its incredible technological advancements, and everybody's got a laptop computer and instant access to knowledge via Google or whatever else internet platform, and your cell phone. Now you've got AI, artificial intelligence, so many students aren't even writing their own papers anymore. So we're, in spite of all of that, America falls every single year. You could look this up. They fall every single year behind other countries in terms of math ability and reading ability. And I've seen this. I've seen people who've been here for one generation, didn't speak a word of English. Within a few years, they speak English better than many so-called real Americans. And I think it's just going to get worse. There was a movie called, oh God, I forgot what it was called. That's I think Idiocracy, with the guy who was talking about, this narrator was talking about how dumb, you know, the so-called civilization had become. I think it was starring, I forgot who was starring. But just look up Idiocracy. I think it's a telling, it was a telling movie about the future of this country anyway. But we got to start giving our teachers more respect, you know, a safer working environment. You know, there was another school shooting, for God's sakes. You know, it's terrible. So now the teachers have got to go to school fearing for their life. Some political leaders, quote unquote, talking about, we need to arm the teachers. We need to deputize the teachers and give them handguns. Imagine that. You're learning teaching pedagogy and, you know, teaching and learning theory, pass your praxis exam, and then along with that, you got to go out to the shooting range and be armed. I really think, I don't know what the answers are. I think we're going to have to just come up with some innovative things. There's people who, wealthy people, they start their own schools. They get together and say, we're going to start a private school, and we're going to charge $50,000 per year for people to send their students to our private school. It's going to have a low student to faculty ratio, so you'll have maybe 10 students in a class at most, and the students have to test to get into that school. I went to a school like this. My parents worked very hard, alhamdulillah, thank God, to get us into those schools. It wasn't easy. We got scholarships, by the way. We didn't come from money. But it was a lot better environment, and the students there, you know, they were very career oriented and socially oriented to excel and succeed. The school I'd gone to before, they had students like that, but they were fewer in number, and the classes were overcrowded. There were like 50 students crammed into a tiny classroom. But that's the difference between many of our inner city and even rural public schools and prestigious prep schools. And of course in DC we have charter schools. But last note, just respect your teachers. And for those of you guys that want to go into education, you know that it's very rewarding. As somebody who was an erstwhile professor and still teaches, it's a very rewarding career. So, but you got to know that it's not without its foibles. But I hope that those of you all who are educators, God bless you all. As an erstwhile student, I appreciate you, and I hope that you get more good stuff, you know, the good things that you deserve. Take care. Anybody who has an interest in becoming a physician assistant or a health educator like me, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll leave my email in the comments section, or the description section. Peace.